Hello, welcome to the TV room. David Bradley here. So, I am still pondering my next move, but one of the things I did do is, which is very essential, because when you have a whole bunch of machines around, it's important, and after you've gone through something, to document. So I documented. So I called this a bar find because the fellow I got it from wrote a wonderful program to help with bartenders and bar service staff like years ago, and this was what they used. Anyway, so it works. Both harnesses. SID missing, another bar find because there was a bad SID chip. Everything in sockets. Amen. I love sockets. Unless they go bad. But they don't often go bad. But they can go bad. Oldest 64 board. Dandy. 326298 revision A. Serial number 213902. No keyboard. Modified for bar application. Indeed. The thing that came with this. Oh, keyboard. Because see, they didn't need to have it coming up. The keyboard is this. There's the keyboard. It's got, it has, because they basically, genius move. Okay, so this can just sit in here, I think. This is like the bottom of the keyboard. That's like where the pads would hit. But see, what they've done, or what this fellow has done, is he's put other wires into the keyboard array, and then he has these plugs out the back, and that is what hooked things up. And this machine, it just, when you turned it on, it came on, it did its thing. Because he had it hooked up through something that I mentioned before, and I don't remember. Maybe it's a brown box, something. Anyway, I haven't checked into it. But this is the keyboard that came with it. And really, it's, well, it's kind of dirty. But it's not bad. It's its own special magical thing. And I don't have the rest of the parts for it. But I'll see if I can get them. I'll see, whatever. Anyway, but that's what the inside of the keyboard would look like. That's where the pads would hit. Anyway, with this older 64, what I can do, because it's perfectly fine, is first of all, I will get some tape. I will tape this on so I don't lose it. Oh, and it's not screwed in at all. I suppose I could screw it. Anyway, I will tape this onto the back, and that will be good. Now this is the other 64. Here's the top. It's pretty fine. It's pretty dandy. It's pretty clean. It does have this plug out the side. So it too has been modified. But that, that's not a huge thing. And I do have the things to plug in. But once again, if this 64, if I just want to use it as a 64, I could probably do it fine with this keyboard. And the extra wiring, really, if you look right here is where you can see there's the extra wiring that runs over to the plug. And it's mostly purple, pink. Let me see here. Kind of off, yeah, purpley, pinky, gray things. Anyway, this was part of the magical things that this fellow did. Now here is the other 64 that came with it, and I call it Bar Find. Works both harnesses. SID out of the other 64, as the SID was bad, and it was. SID and VIC socketed, so everything else is not socketed, which it's fine. I just like it better if it is. The board is a 250407, and it's dandy. Serial number 109979. Lovely, 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 lovely. So these can get set aside. Hopefully not forgotten. They will get set aside because I think I mentioned in the other video I was doing, I have been to the garage. Oh yeah, there. I've been to the garage, and have found many, 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 many bins with all kinds of stuff that I thought, oh yeah, I'll look at this stuff, but I haven't. So I do need to. So what I'm thinking, because the World of Commodore is coming, and it's funny, somebody sent me a message, said, hey, save some 64s for us. Well, you know what? I mean, the whole reason I started saving stuff is because I couldn't stand the thought of it being thrown out and tossed in the garbage and sent to e-waste. So, I mean, I've been collecting now, well, for more than 40 years, I suppose. So, I suppose what I will do is kind of put, I do want to do the tiny pet keyboard thing. I do. So maybe I'll do that. But I've got to go through the bins and see what's what. So I guess what I really need to do, once again, is declutter and get it set up here that I can test some discs, test some joysticks. In one box, I think it was 5 data sets. 5. And that wasn't all. That was just the top layer. I just looked and went, oh. Anyway, so, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I will see. I don't want to hurt anything here. It may be the best thing I can do for the moment, because there is some room on the floor here, would be to get the pets secure and put them gently on the floor so I can work here and see what I can see and see what I can do and see what's what. I did, for those who were watching, I did unplug the 64 power supply because I'd had it plugged in without anything on it for quite a while, and the voltage did rise by about 0.3 volts or so. Anyway, I let it cool down some, put it in. It's back down to its reasonable thing. Even the higher thing is not an unreasonable figure, and nothing went bad. Nothing did. So I need to find some tape and tape these things on here and put them somewhere safe. And oh yeah, and of course back in the garage, if you saw this, you already know this. Besides all that, I found a big 20-inch, two disk drives, one 1540, one 2031, in a filing cabinet. Did I know they were there? No. And there was also a modem. Um, it's like a Hayes modem imitation. I think it was made by Packard Bell. Haven't plugged it in, haven't tried it. But indeed, the thing I really liked about those modems was the flashing LEDs. Indeed. So, it's not that I don't want to finish up working on these things. I do. But I have a table at the World of Commodore. Before I even got a table at the World of Commodore, they did put a thing up, basically kind of saying that I would be there selling things, which, I mean, I had a table last year to sell things, but it didn't bring anything to sell. So, but it was nice seeing people. Always nice seeing people. And for those who, I mentioned Rudy of Rudy's Retro Intel. He will have pet companions for sale. But from the sounds of it, because of other things going on, he's doing a demonstration at 11 o'clock on Sunday. But I don't think he's going to be there on Saturday. So if you're looking to get a pet companion, either get in touch with him through his channel, Rudy's Retro Intel. And if you're going to be there on Sunday, great, he'll be there. And if you're not going to be there on Sunday, then see what you can arrange with him. And for those that don't know, the pet companion plugs into the user port and the cassette port of a pet and lets you hook up to like a monitor like this or the monochrome monitor I now have on the floor here. And you can also get the sound out. And if you look back at some of the stuff I checked out, it was some old programs that I knew had sound and I wanted to hear the sound. But on the pets that I had up here, there was no funky little speaker inside, so I couldn't hear anything. And there is a plug on there that I think you need another interface to go to an HDMI. Anyway, he can tell you all the answers. I just know. I've used it. I like it. It's handy. It's helpful. But Rudy's been working on Super Pets and for a long time now, many months. But and he's produced a manual, and I believe you can download. I believe he was looking into getting it printed, but so far, the printing costs are crazy, 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 crazy. So that's where I'm at. Another thing I need to do is I got some more little wee microphones. I did. And wireless lavalier microphone. I did. And there we are. There's the second one. There's two of them. And I am going to see about making sure they are working and having them charged. And who knows, perhaps teaming up with other people. I can't do it all, but I would be. If people want to record things with an iPhone, these are perfect. You have a little piece that you plug into the phone, and you make sure everything is charged, and you put the microphone on the people, and then you get good sound. So that then when you post the videos, you have good sound. And I know, like last year, Rudy took the soundtrack from what I did and other stuff, but he was able to edit other things in, like close-ups of some of the things that were described. So that was good. Oh dear. It's funny, you know. I start to feel okay, and then once in a while, my throat just gets dry and says, "Well, you're gonna cough now," and I do not like it. So, anyway, so yes, time to get organized yet again, and gather things, because the World of Commodore is coming, November 30th, December 1st, and it doesn't sound like, I don't even know actually what. Alexa, 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 volume 10. There we are. Alexa, what's the date? You know what? I think when I'm filming this, it's maybe November the 10th. I think. So Remembrance Day is tomorrow. Don't forget. Mind you, this might not be posted in time for it. Anyway, I hope you observed Remembrance Day. I hope. Anyway, so if this is the 10th, it basically means 20 days, less than 3 weeks. I must get ready. So, and it's not that I don't have other stuff to look through as well, but I think I will try to go through stuff in the garage and see if it's working, see if it's not. If things aren't working, parts are good, and I don't mind selling things for parts. For example, I've got a joystick box here that's got all kinds of joysticks, and they don't work, but they're good for parts because, like, everyone had their favorite joystick, and cables get damaged, and also the different parts of them can be used for other things if people are doing other experimenting, other stuff. So you never know. There's always a time and a place for parts. So I suspect if I am going to bring things for parts, they will be very reasonably priced. And for somebody who has, like, and there's joysticks in here I've never seen before. For somebody who has a joystick like that, who wants to try and get it going again, or, I mean, if someone's just putting up a display of, like, here's all the joysticks of the time. I'm not a joystick collector. I like the Wiko and I like the Epics. But anyway, things happen. Parts are good. You never know when something comes up and you say, aha, I could take that cord off of there. Because, I've had cats and dogs and things and stuff, and sometimes they just decide, hey, that wire looks pretty tasty. or it gets run over by something like a chair with wheels, or some actually in old wires and things and stuff. Over the years, things get bent, things get twisted. Sometimes the wires, and they're not very thick, they can break off inside. And you're like, why am I not? The direction is not working, but it seems to be working. And also, of course, in the joysticks, some of them are made of metal, some of them are made of plastic, and the switches, they break, or the things that are supposed to touch the switches, they break, or they bend, or they twist, or so parts are good. Now, would I like to think that most of what I have out in the garage is working? Yes. Do I think that's like a reasonable assumption? No, not at all. I just don't think so. But anyway, so it's time to get organized. It's still very tempting to just get that wire dealt with on that pet before I move on to other things. It is. Ooh, look. Here's my little... Oh, I've unplugged it. Never mind. I like this thing. But it doesn't really show up. So I've got a very bright light in here, so it's well lit. But this needs darkness. Darkness. It does. So there's one thing I thought of while I was sitting here, because I see them here. I'm just looking down over here. Aha! I'm reaching into the pet. The pets are good to put things in. I have here a multimeter, and it needs batteries. And right here, right in front of me, there's some batteries. So I will rip them open. And what I do to help me understand it, whether I've used batteries, they come in little cellophane stuff. And I'm using 2 of them now. So I leave the other one still in the cellophane. So hopefully I will realize, hey, these ones are okay. Now, where do we go here? Okay. So this one goes in that way. This one goes in that way. Does the meter light up? It does. Okay, so we'll pop this back cover back on. It's got a little stand so I can set it up. There. And in here are the wires, which I have not yet undone. Excuse me. And they are giving me a little bit of grief. Okay, so here's the wires. So the black one goes in the black hole. And then there are 2 things. I've got to see. You know what I really want to see? What I really want to see are my glasses. Okay. So we have an assortment of things here. Oh, there's continuity. Okay, so now how do I know? 10 amps. Okay, well, I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to whip it around to continuity. I'm going to touch it together. And I hear nothing. So maybe I have this in the wrong hole. I want to hear that beep. Why am I not hearing that beep? Okay, there's a light. Oh, okay. There. Maybe that's it. that is a good thing when testing wires and connections, to make sure that if you touch on something, to know, like I was talking about joysticks before, if if you're touching on one end of a joystick connector and the other end inside the joystick, and it doesn't do that, it means the wire is broken or something is not making contact. Aha. And also, if you don't have the sound, when you touch something together, it will give you a readout thing. So hang on, I'm going to press the hold button. Ah, good stuff. Always nice to have it sort of sitting there saying, okay, yeah. Anyway, there we go. It says 000. Don't know if you can see that, but that is what you should see if things are, if you have continuity. All right, thank you. So we'll turn the meter off. There is a little book in here of supposed instructions. I suppose I will throw them in this drawer just in case I should ever need to refer to them. And really, I suppose I could save this box and I could save this twist tie and other such things, but I won't. I'll actually go over here and stuff some other things in here. And then I will close this up and I will take it downstairs and toss it into the recycling. Anyway, I do look forward to measuring some things at times. Volt, ohms, milliamps, 10 amps, and the common. There it is. A very basic little meter thing. It is. And if you've been watching the Temu series, I got it from Temu. But it says it's high precision. It does. DC voltage, AC voltage, resistance, on, off, beep. DC current, MA DC current. That's milliamp DC current. Diode, date hold. Anyway, also good for checking if your car is charging. If you start up your car, you put the red on the red and the black on the black, and you have it on the right setting, which would be for voltage. I guess on this meter it would be voltage. Probably voltage 20. When a car is not running, it might be 10, 11, 12, depending how good the battery is. But it is running. It's higher. Why? Because, well, like maybe 14, because it's also charging the battery. Anyway. All right. I need to declutter, get organized, and check things out. I do. So thanks for coming. Have a lovely, lovely day. And if you can't make it to the World of Commodore, then, there'll be videos afterwards. I've always talked about doing like reports from the World of Commodore, but I haven't done it. So maybe I'll do that. And the nice thing about these microphones are, and if I know just outside where the main room is, there's a kind of a couch area, the lounge. And who knows, maybe I'll try and interview some people. And because the thing that's nice about these microphones are, I can stick one on them. I can stick one on me. I can be on the other side of the camera asking the questions, but you can still hear. And they can talk, and you can hear what they have to say. So we'll see about that. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.